Happy Monday, guys! I've got great news. There are a lot of amazing stories around the world and I'm excited to share them with you. Let's get started. Samsung has come up with an incredible way to make driving by their trucks safer. They realize that when you're driving behind the truck and you're trying to pass, it can be dangerous and you can't see cars coming the other way. They've created the invisible truck, which puts a camera in the front of the truck that projects to 4 LED TVs in the back. So when you're driving behind the truck, you see what's in front of it. You can see if there's any cars coming the other way, or if there's a car directly in front of the truck that you will have to also pass. This is such a smart idea, and people around the world are safer driving around these Samsung trucks. Thomas Knox is a guy from New York, and he rides the subway pretty often. Now he noticed no one was talking and interacting on the subway or when they were waiting for their subway to arrive. He decided to set up a table and 2 chairs to have a date while you wait. He sits down in one chair and anyone is invited to sit and join him. They can play games, they can talk, get to know each other. A lot of people are just to themselves, especially in big cities like New York or where we live in Toronto. I notice this all the time. I think this is an incredible idea to break that tension and get people connecting. Lego is a huge company and a toy that we've probably all had throughout our lifetime. If we had it, then we pass it on to our kids and we buy Lego for our kids. It's great for having fun, for building, for stimulating minds, but Lego uses a lot of plastic. And to make plastic, you need a lot of fossil fuels. Well, Lego is putting millions of dollars into the invention of a sustainable material that they will replace all their plastic pieces with. Lego is hoping by 2030 they will completely eliminate the plastic Lego block and they will use the new design that is eco-friendly and sustainable. Alex Dean is a university student from Ontario, Canada. Now when he was 12 years old, he had to help a blind person cross the street. Now he realized that the blind person only had a cane to help them get around. 6 years later, and he's created iAid, which is a belt that you can wear with different sensors that send out ultrasonic signals, just like how a bat communicates with echolocation. Now these sensors get picked up, they know what obstacles are around them, and there's a joystick. Now if the blind person is holding the joystick will lean to the left if the person needs to go left to avoid the obstacle. If it leans right, they need to lean right and walk right to avoid that obstacle. When it's straight, there's nothing in front of them. Genius idea of this 18-year-old to come up with and actually make a model that works. Stacy Zern is a woman from Austin, Texas who's in a wheelchair. Now she noticed that it was very difficult for people in wheelchairs to get around by vehicle. You either have to take public transportation that has access to a wheelchair ramp, or it's difficult to get into a car. She quit her job to invent a car that has access to a wheelchair. Now what it is a small electric car, you press a button, the trunk goes up, a ramp comes down, and you ride your wheelchair directly in and you're sitting right there in front of the steering wheel. Stacy has raised millions of dollars to fund this electric vehicle. It's going to travel at about 35 miles an hour and it's going to cost about $25,000. Matthew is a young adult with cerebral palsy. Now, he's in wonderful high spirits, but he has some challenges in his daily life. One of those challenges being tying his shoes. One of his hands works better than the other, which makes tying a shoe very difficult. He loves Nike shoes, especially basketball Nike shoes. So he wrote Nike and asked them if they could do anything with his issue. Nike took this to heart. They reinvented a new shoe so that people like Matthew are able to do up their shoes with only one hand. What they did is they made the back of the shoe have a zipper and Velcro. This way Matthew could slide in his foot and do up his shoe. 36 golden retrievers were just rescued from Istanbul, Turkey. This has been the biggest international dog rescue in history. All 36 golden retrievers were shipped to the United States where they were medically treated, taken care of, and actually adopted. There were so many people that wanted these stray dogs that there was a waiting list. These dogs went from being malnourished and not loved and not taken care of and living on the streets and behind fences to being in loving, warm homes. Prince William is making history. He's a father of two, but he also started a new job. He is the first member of the royal family to actually take a civilian job. He's going to be a helicopter pilot for the East Anglian Air Ambulance. Now his salary is over 30,000 euros a year, and he's chosen to donate his salary. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal for the royal family to actually have a regular job, but when in history have you ever heard of a prince or a king or a queen having a regular job? This is like a Disney movie. I mean, this is like King Henry going to the village and working as a blacksmith in his time off. Like, that doesn't happen. So this is pretty incredible of Prince William to actually take this job. That's it for today's video. I want to know, if you were a prince or a princess, what job would you want to do? If you like this video, click the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. You'll get a new video every week of good stories from around the world. I'll see you guys next week. We're still running a decade later. Not just that, but it just went 26 miles around Mars. That means that it completed a marathon. A robot completed a marathon on Mars. I think he deserves to do the robot dance.